about it. I already admitted I conflated it with some fucked up porn star. We don't need to dive deeper into the fact that I have no idea what you're talking about this whole segment. Looks like a nice game, but yeah, no, man. Yeah, I have a feeling this episode is going to be all about me secretly being exposed to I don't know shit about comics.
Yeah,
certainly not recent comics.
Uh-oh.
How do you not know about independent webcomics from 2004?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell, man?
How recent did you say this was? I mean, that was back in my I feel like I was consuming some web comics in 2004. Was Penny Arcade a thing already then?
Yeah, probably.
I think
Yeah,
so.
it probably was. Oh, I didn't like it very much, but I saw it a lot. So
8-bit theater, baby.
yeah, man.
I was a big fan of Bob and George back in the day.
Oh,
I
that
was
was
gonna
good.
say,
Bob and
you could
George
take
was
this
good.
opportunity to talk about, your favorite webcomics from back in the day, because I can't. I obviously don't remember any.
I was a pretty big fan of that Neskimos forum webcomic that
Oh,
David
good.
Weiland was making back in the day on the Neskimo forums using sprites of
Sprites.
Pac-Man and stuff.
Oh man, yeah. I feel like there were, especially after 8-bit theater got big, there were a lot of sprite comics because people were like, "Wait, I don't have to draw. I can just copy and paste sprites."
Yeah, I guess
Hell
that's
yeah.
probably most of what I consumed back then. I feel like I followed some long running like Mega Man X sprite comic or something. I'm just like, man, why did I read that so much? It
Oh,
wasn't very
man.
clever.
That
I
rings
did one.
bells. Oh,
It was called Crash and Burn, and it was about Crash Man and Heat Man being friends.
Sounds good.
I feel like I remember that one actually.
And I remember
Yeah.
they like kink shamed Bubble Man because he ate his own bubbles.
Ew.
It was weird.
I mean, I'm not here to kink shame. I don't think there's anything wrong with eating your own bubbles.
Bubbles of what?
Well, he was Bubble Man, and he just made
I'd
bubbles.
prefer to
and-
leave it at that.
bubbles of ass.
Okay, David. Yes. You're asking more questions than you're answering here.
I mean, I have no problems eating a nice bubble butt.
Yeah, that's
all I'm
fine.
saying.
Yeah, okay, geez, we're talking about bubble butts. Does Bubble Man have a bubble butt?
If he wants.
I mean, it's in his
Yeah.
name, I would imagine.
He
Exactly.
could.
You never really see him from behind, so you don't know
Yeah.
if Bubble Man's got a big dumpy or not. But
I mean, have you seen the way he swims, like with that wide arc of swinging his legs? He's got some muscles back there.
yeah, he's
Like,
not using the knees. He's kind of just using the he's kind of just like moving his legs in like a scissoring kind of motion. So it's it's probably all glute. Like he's
Yeah.
doing like a stiff legged sway through the water. It's probably nothing but bubble butt.
Yeah, he's probably got a majestic turd cutter.
God, that's
I'm really conflating anuses with butts here, but okay.
Well, that's part of the deal, isn't it?
No, man. When I hit the gym and do leg day, I feel the benefit in my butt, not my fucking anus.
Well, then you're
I
not
just-
working out good enough.
Yeah.
I just imagine it's like, so you've hired me as a personal trainer. Is there any particular goal you had? It's like, yeah, I just want a toned ass turd cutter.
Yeah. Tone ass space hole. Sir, you didn't have to say it like that. You can just leave. um, okay, so anyway, yeah, we've gotten this has been a good Blade Kitten discussion.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's like, oh, I bet Bubble Man's got a really nice turd cutter. So Blade Kitten.
Yeah. I mean, can't we just call it a bubble blower in that case? Not he's a robot. He doesn't poop. But whatever. Anyway.
You don't know. Maybe that's where the bubbles are coming from.
Could be. And David has no problem eating those bubbles. Anything else on this game, David?
No. Like I said, it was a fun little downloadable indie game back in the day, and I thought it was cool that it was based on a webcomic. Yeah. It was a fun game.
Sweet, man.
You heard it here
Good
first,
pick.
guys. Fun
Yeah.
game.
This game exists. It's playable still, right? Like, people can definitely just go find this, huh?
So, funnily enough, no. It is.
Oh, okay, good.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's still on Steam, but it was designed to be a 2-part like episodic game. And after the
like
first
Sonic
one,
4.
after the first one came out, like the developers like went under. But something like 5 years later, like
Undercover.
people kind of got back together and actually sat down and released the other copy of it. They're the other part of it. So yes, the game still is available, and I believe it's now complete.
Well, fantastic.
We did it, everyone. We
We'll
did
have
it.
to all bone up on this, man. We'll have to get into part 2 at a later date, man. That's our assignment. 2023 is going to be the year of Blade Kitten for Game That Tune. No, it's not a euphemism. It's not anybody's favorite sex move. It's definitely a game.
Game 2.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. One review of this spread. Outside of the last boss, where you actually have to figure out a trick in order to win, all of the foes can be beaten by punching with little or no regards to your health until they die. who's got some answers?
I do, and I'm very upset with you.
Mm.
Sorry. You're right there.
Doop-a-doop-beep-beep-beep. All right, so Jesse drew what I think is an X-Man Wolverine because of the X. Oh, it's a Wolverine penis. That's not correct. David
Wolverinus.
oh shit, Wolverinus. David and John both say Spawn, which is correct. This is Spawn for the Game Boy Color. Specifically, only the Game Boy Color.
I think it's an X-Men. It's a guy with pointed hair and claws coming out of his hands. Like, who the fuck do you think that is,
Well,
Johnny?
in fairness, David, it's not a guy. It was a drawing of a cock.
Okay, sure. It's a penis with
Yes.
pointed hair and claws coming out of it. Like,
Yeah, I saw the X first, said, "Oh, it's an X-Man," and then as I'm saying it, I'm looking around the rest. I'm like, "Oh, there's claws." Oh, it's Wolverine.
working down the list of things.
you have spiral
got there.
vision. You put like you go to the center and then gradually move outward.
Mm-hmm.
You got there.
Yeah, eventually. So yeah. Anyway, Johnny.
So yeah, another fun fact about this game was it had extensive use of digitized speech and cutscenes, which was not very common on the Game Boy.
Yeah. What?
And unfortunately, the various things I found didn't have them, so I had a hard time getting a good clean rip of it. But
Oh, why tease us with that if not to share it?
Wait, hold on. This is a Game Boy Color game
Color?
with digitized speech.
yeah,
God, that must have sounded like shit.
Oh god.
I hope you have some sound clips.
You
no,
just-
I did not get that in time. I couldn't find like a audio rip that had the sound clip separated. So I don't have those handy right now. I'm
It's
sorry.
so fascinating, though. The mere idea that they would attempt speech through a Game Boy Color sound chip.
I'm just trying to imagine because like there's in many ways the Game Boy Color was comparable to the NES, and there are a couple examples of like digitized speech on the NES, and it was terrible. I
Right.
can't imagine how that would have sounded on a portable speaker.
Yeah. Terrible, I think. I mean, it's
I'm pretty sure it's like basically as soon as you hear it, your ears just immediately bleed.
right. Yeah,
Like,
you're dragged to
is there
hell
a
and
word
covered in
for-
chains.
Worse than terrible?
So yeah,
John Leguizamo comes to your house dressed as a clown.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I bet this game sounds like being tortured in hell. And speaking of hell,
Right.
Spawn, am I right?
Yeah, your ears are violated by the sound.
yeah. After talking about '90s ass characters last week with Venom, I thought, well, what better to do on this show than bring Spawn into the mix?
Johnny, you're a man after my own heart. That's what's up, baby.
Todd McFarlane shows up.
Yeah, exactly. And now we'd like to welcome into our show special guest Todd McFarlane, of
Oh my
course.
god, what a get!
On the one hand, that would be an amazing get. On the other hand, I would probably have to mute my microphone because I would just spend the entire time calling Todd McFarlane an asshole.
I mean, like, can you not respect his contributions enough to have a decent podcast segment with him without calling him an asshole? Is it that serious? Can you not, like,
Yeah, dude.
you know, I don't know the ins and outs of Todd McFarlane. If he's like a Nazi or something, I'm sorry, but like,
I love how you say it's like, can you like put that aside? Like, can you just have a pleasant conversation with Todd McFarlane without describing him as an asshole? I don't know anything about the man.
yeah,
But
I'm just
can't
saying,
you just
yeah.
like
You're the one that's all plugged into comics. I don't know what the fucking, how much of an asshole he is, besides the fact that he just created fucking super 90s comics and they're not your speed.
I don't understand your issue with Todd McFarlane. Like, Family Guy is not that bad of a show.
no?
No
Actually,
one's ever
as-
conflated
as-
those two people.
As soon as you said, I was like, I bet Johnny is gonna try something
Yeah.
silly.
And there's
Yeah.
actually plenty wrong with that McFarlane as well.
no, I don't have a problem with Spawn. Like, I mean, aside from being 90s as hell, which isn't my speed, like I can get behind Spawn, but like he's
Kind of an
Anyhow,
asshole then, huh?
I never got into the character.
Damn, really?
No,
He's
like,
kind of. I feel like he's one of those guys, man. You grew up in the '90s. You fucking. Yeah, you had to have a little bit of love for this guy.
I mean, I had some of the cards, like the trading cards, because they were weird. They were long and like kind of thin, like, and whenever you think about it, you can't put those in a folder. Like,
Yeah.
there's no fucking card sleeves made for these stupid things. So
Were
thanks
any
a
of-
lot.
Were any of them also silver?
No, they weren't.
They weren't long spawn silvers.
No.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone.
I feel like making the long cards is just an excuse for them to sell you the Spawn like card, folders, right? Like
Mhm.
like you can't just buy the regular card collecting stuff. You gotta buy the Spawn brand Trapper Keeper.
Yeah.
like
Ugh. I
Yes,
don't know
because-
these cards of which you speak, but it's hilarious that they would try that. Like trading cards are a pretty standard size. Like, don't make long cards.
Like, I liked when he drew Spider-Man. He drew a pretty good Spider-Man, I thought, but
Was he long?
no, but he had these cool eyes. He did cool eyes on Spider-Man.
that was one thing that I did really like about Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man is like he made a point to draw him very contorted and
Yeah.
everything, like to make him not look like just a dude. Like, no, he has some weird spider flexibility to him.
Yeah, his Spider-Man work was solid. I never got into Spawn that much. I don't know.
And I mean, like, I just want to say, like, I am not a fan of 90s comics as a concept, but I didn't mind Spawn. Like, I actually think Spawn's pretty cool because
Yeah.
you tie in, like, the occult and all of the weird, like, hell demon powers and everything. Like, yeah, Spawn's definitely 90s, but, like, not the worst of 90s comics.
Nah, dude. 90s X-Men is where it's at.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that goes without saying.
It's fucking great. Yeah, I didn't really read Spawn myself, but come on, man, it's just such a cool looking character. I mean, like, the guy, like, no matter what anybody thinks of McFarlane, he designed a pretty cool fucking character.
He's got cool ideas.
Chains, guys.
Remember
mean,
when he
like-
was in Soul Calibur 2?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I actually have only played as Spawn in Soul Calibur 2 once at like a MagFest because I didn't have it on Xbox, but it's like, fuck it. What a weird inclusion. That's awesome. I want to read a couple of quick comments out of the chat for some McFarlane context. Jaded Gamer says McFarlane's a big asshole, capital B-I-G. He thinks he's God's gift to nerds. He's sexist, and the only thing people remember him now for is hiring the right toy sculptors. He went on record saying women were never meant to be relevant in comics.
Ugh.
Tasty says Spawn is cool if you don't read the entire comic series, just watch the movie. Mork says the movie is fine. So there's a few opinions.
I mean,
yeah.
especially like if you get into the legal battles with Neil Gaiman and everything, and especially
see,
because Image Comics was founded on creator rights, and then he tried to like screw over writers that wrote for Spawn. Like,
What
Ha-
a dick.
Jeez.
anyhow,
I always
Um,
thought he was just like a shitty ghostwriter anyways.
Wait,
Todd McFarlane is a
No,
shitty
Spawn.
ghost writer, or
No,
Spawn
I
is
thought
a
Yeah,
shitty
okay,
ghost
so-
writer.
I
thought
thought
you
Spawn
said
was a shitty
McFarlane.
ghostwriter. No.
I thought you were implying that Todd McFarlane either wrote for other people or didn't write his own comics. Like he had a ghost writer, like David said. But yeah, Spawn. I don't really see the connection with Ghost Rider, Jesse. I think it's a bit of a reach. The two
mean-
simply don't have much in common.
I mean, it's true. Like, one of them is a human soul bonded with a demon that uses chains for weapons and seeks out vengeance. And the other, oh, I see where you're coming from, Jesse. Okay.
But-
Well, he's got a motorcycle and he's on fire, so completely different.
Yeah, Ghost Rider.
That's true. One has a motorcycle and one has guns.
Or
Totally
a Dodge
different.
Charger, I think. Does the new one have a Dodge Charger? I know the new one. He's was it Ronnie Reyes? He is
some
like
Mexican fella.
a vehicle,
Yeah.
Which-
like a driving thing, which is fine. It's cool.
Now,
If-
has there ever been more than one Spawn, or is it always just the same guy?
There have been multiple spawns.
Oh,
Because the like, oh god, I'm blanking on his name. Al
Spawn.
Simmons.
Yeah.
Like his soul was tied to the Hellspawn by the demon Malbogio, and became Spawn, but that demon did affect like other people throughout history. So there was like a medieval Spawn. There was.
Oh yeah, I
I
do
don't
have an
remember if there was
issue
like
of,
a Western Spawn. I feel like there might have been. But yeah, there have been multiple Hell Spawns throughout history.
Yeah, I have an issue of Spawn the Impaler that takes place, back in like Dracula days.
Oh, that's dope.
That's kind of sweet.
Yeah. Did he still have his
That-
guns back then?
No, he did not. But
No,
Did he ride his motorcycle back then?
no, you're thinking of
Not that
Ghost
one.
Rider, Johnny.
Oh god damn it! I am thinking of Ghost Rider.
The motorcycle's the Ghost Rider thing. The guns are the Spawn thing. The chains, those are the things that bind them together.
Pretty much, if you can imagine like the Sauron armor from Lord of the Rings, but with like Spawn colors,
Dope.
that's like what medieval Spawn looks like.
All right, yeah, I'm fully into that. Quite frankly, I thought Lord of the Rings could have used more Spawn or Sauron. Yeah, that armor is it's dope. The eye lit it in fire is all well and good, but like let's see the armor, man. I like a good spiky suit of armor. So
I also love how this was Johnny's game, and he's literally said nothing this entire
this has to
time.
this is a full Johnny play. This makes perfect sense. He's a dirty 90s boy just like me who knows who's cool, and he knew that we would have things to say to bail him out on this. It's a perfect play from Johnny.
Game
So
3.
Oh, if I could forget it.
I'm Johnny. I'm gonna put you on the spot. What is your favorite Spawn enemy?
Oh man, that would probably be. I forget how you pronounce this. Like Helisablinger or something like that. Helisablinger.
What?
What's the guy's name?
Oh god, he's having a stroke, guys. Johnny's stroking out. This is bad.
Malboja. That's who I'm thinking of.
I don't.
Or Malaboja. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Guy that directed
Johnny,
Blazing
go to the
Saddles.
next game.
Game 3.
Sure, but it doesn't just play the next song automatically. Johnny's back now. All right, guys. So this game was released in arcades and on certain home consoles. It was planned as a launch title for the PlayStation 2, but was ultimately canceled for that system. And the game has adjustable violence levels. You can set the violence in the game from 0 to 3. Setting the violence to 0 disables all the gore in the game, colors all the blood green, and greatly reduces the amount of blood spilled by characters. All right, who's feeling great?
So good.
You know,
Very
not gonna lie, I'm feeling really good.
Good. So Jesse's drawing a penis in a wheelchair, and it's Professor Cock with an X. Sadly incorrect. Johnny says merely Spawn, and David says merely Spawn parentheses Dreamcast. Let's see. You know, I'm going to give it to both of them. This is Spawn in the Demon's Hand for the Dreamcast.
I
Well
mean,
done, man.
I question that decision. How do you know this wasn't Spawn for the Game Boy Color?
I mean, I'm glad that you clarified it, because yeah, it's easily mixed up. The those samples.
The Dreamcast soundtrack and the Game Boy Color soundtrack, practically the same.
Mm-hmm. Not really, though. Actually, a few major differences. Fascinating, I know.
I really like that. Not really.
Yeah, not it at all, really. Because yeah, this is a man. What an unusual game this is, Johnny. We didn't get into who made the Spawn game for the Game Boy Color. Did you happen to have the developer on that?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was published by Konami.
Okay, cool.
Hold on, I actually have a pull up. And developed by Konami.
Okay, because this is Spawn in the Demon's Hand for the Dreamcast and the arcade. It was a collaboration between Capcom and Sega. It was Capcom developing an arcade game on the Sega Naomi system, and one could say this is Capcom's last arcade beat 'em up, unlike what was said last week. But
To say, I don't know that one would say that.
this came out after the game you chose, I believe.
Well, yeah, but this was also developed with another company. So.
Well, no, it was just developed and made, like, published entirely by Capcom. They just were developing it on Sega's arcade hardware. So, in a way, David, you're retroactively game overed from last week. I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention, but you must now go to hell.
Game over!
Yep.
I'm very glad that you decided to game over me. As holder of the Game That Tune crown, I negate that game over.
I don't know, man. That crown's pretty heavy. It probably is going to drag you to hell. Johnny, did we delete the Cervantes "Come With Me to Hell" sound? Did that never make it on the official soundboard?
Come with me to hell!
Thank goodness, man. What a man, kindred spirit of Spawn, Cervantes.
Is he in this game?
No.
You know what? You can send me to hell, and I'll be king there too.
Give me a hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
I said give me a hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
We got a lot of hell references on the soundboard right now.
Also,
Yeah, that too.
how appropriate that is. Austin 317, Game That Tune 317.
We never talk about John 3:17. What does that verse say? Anyway, no, I don't
It's
care.
actually okay.
Trying to talk Spawn here, David. Trying to give you something to really talk about.
Well,
You want to
I'm
talk about the
trying-
Bible, or you want to talk about Spawn for Dreamcast?
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to quote the Bible, which ties into Spawn, since he is literally a hell spawn.
Mm-hmm.
Now, didn't
think-
Todd McFarlane create this character?
Todd McFarlane did. And,
I heard he's a huge asshole.
I'm gonna put it out there. I don't think Todd McFarlane is getting into heaven.
Yeah, fuck.
Whoa.
Goddamn.
Hot take.
Yeah. See you in hell, McFarlane, from heaven.
I like the new spin of our show where we tell people who they're going to heaven or hell.
We really got to get McFarlane on the show. for
Call
the
in
next
your
episode.
call the voicemail and ask who you think we should send to heaven or hell.
There's
Yeah,
such a
you-
big, to me, there's such a big difference between saying somebody's going to hell versus saying they're not getting into heaven.
Because it implies the most awful third option. They might be doomed to live in this reality forever.
Oh,
940 GDT Buzz. Do you think Todd McFarlane's going to heaven or hell?
Yes. Anyway, Spawn on the Dreamcast.
heaven or hell?
An arcade production, somewhere in between. An arcade Capcom game. And David, I'm getting you off the hook because it's so lightly focused on beating things up, because it's heavily focused on gunning motherfuckers down. You can beat things up as Spawn. You can, start whipping those chains around and you can punch things. But man, does this game want you to bust out the guns. You're dual wielding all over the place. You're mowing motherfuckers down. You're fighting a boss rush. And it's a fascinatingly odd game that I just can't imagine really working all that well. It's just like the video I was watching of it, I'm like, this is real dated. And I can't imagine, Johnny, help me out here. You're the Sega boy. How many thumbsticks on a Dreamcast controller?
Oh, I believe it's just one.
Yeah.
One
Any
thumbstick,
way
one
to-
D-pad.
Yeah. You're doing a whole lot of, are there a whole lot of good, like, third person, first person shooters on the Dreamcast? Like, you're doing a whole lot of moving and aiming.
They put Quake on there.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a version of Quake.
Half-Life.
And I believe it controls similar to how GoldenEye controls, where you use the face buttons for your look direction, right? You move,
Sure.
you move and strafe with the stick, and you have the triggers for firing and changing weapons, things like that. I think.
Sure.
I think that's
This
the
is-
standard.
well, this is not a first-person shooter; it's a third-person thing, and it just—I don't know. It just looks like some weird dated arcade concept that they then moved to the Dreamcast, and then yes, Sony was right to be like, "Ew, no, we don't need that on our system." Like it's no thanks. That game looks like it's from 1998. We're trying to move into the future, baby. We got Tekken Tag Tournament here. We're not going to be doing Spawn anymore. But I don't know. Depending on how it plays, it could be kind of fun. You can play up to 4 players, and you play as Spawn and a cast of like 30-something other characters, which I didn't know existed to be played as in the Spawn universe. Like when you're playing solo, you get to pick a teammate. The video I was watching, Spawn picked some guy named Twitch. Looks like a little like nerdlinger, probably good with guns, probably ex-military guy. But yeah, so you can play up to 4 players, and it's like you can either do like a boss rush or like a battle royal where all the bosses are in the arena with you at the same time, and you got to fucking survive. But yeah, it looks like weird, and I don't want to say crappy, but like just dated, and like a concept that needed like a sequel to refine it and get it right. So like you choose the boss rush thing, and it's like, all right, defeat the Violator. And it just kind of drops you into like, a smallish area. Like you ever play like Power Stone, or like one of those other like 3D-ish fighting games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Little bigger than that. And you're Spawn with a gun, and it's like, all right, you got to find the boss and take it out. It's like, oh, fuck, I'm in like a living room. He's right over there. Like, I could see him right there. He's the Violator. He's across this rooftop. And then you have to kill like 2 enemies, and it's like, all right, the Violator's here. He's appeared. And then you have to kill the Violator, and then you move on to some other fucking Spawn boss, and it takes you to I don't know, foundry and fucking an evil forest and a lava area, and it's all these oddly like small environments that you're fighting Spawn things in, and it's just 1999, and I don't think they probably made this a very good game. It's just, but like it seems fun in concept, like especially if you know anything really about Spawn, which this is my sad reveal here. I don't really know shit about Spawn. I saw the movie. I'm aware of the fucking look of this guy, and I love it, but like I don't think I've ever read a Spawn comic. Like I know the broad strokes of Spawn, but like you give me a Spawn game where there's like 25 other characters, I'm like, unless they're all pilot swaps of Spawn, I'm not really going to know what I'm doing here.
Well, that's what I think is so weird. It's like, and not disparaging the Spawn comics, but like, oh yeah, there's like 25 to 30 playable characters in the Spawn game. Like, that seems to me like, hey, here's a Superman game where you can play as Superman or literally anyone else. Like,
right.
Who the fuck cares?
Like, can you imagine stepping up to the arcade cabinet with your friends and say, I don't know, John Regan gets to choose Spawn, and then the rest of us that have put our money in, it's like, now wait a minute, who do we get to play as? It's like, oh, you get to play as like Spawn's
friends.
Spawn's friend. Like, no, fuck, this whole thing's blown. Like,
I gotta be honest. We've talked about Spawn more today than I ever imagined we talk about Spawn in the whole history of our podcast.
I feel like you kind of should have seen it coming, man. It was after last week. Not only did I use one of the only remaining comic book games that I've actually played, but I kind of tipped my hand on what kind of a stupid 90s kid I was, man. Venom and Spawn, they're fucking, 2 peas in a pod as far as I'm concerned.
Whoa, hold on.
Yes.
John, are you saying that you don't have extensive playtimes with the Spawn Dreamcast game?
Well, I mostly played it in the arcade.
Okay.
But
okay.
it was so difficult to get more than one player to play with me because nobody wants to play as Spawn's friends. Like, it's
if you could be other Spawns from like different time periods, that'd be cool. Like if you got to be that badass armored Spawn, or
I play the
like
fuck
Wild
out of
West
medieval Spawn.
So they do have unlockable spawns. Like you can play as Dark Ages Spawn, Hell Spawn.
Oh, good.
Okay.
But I'm assuming in the arcade you probably didn't get to do that.
Right. I think this was greatly expanded on the Dreamcast. But even so, like, I don't know, how many spawns do you really want to have going at one time? I guess the answer is as many as possible.
All of them.
Yeah.
Oops,
But
all spawns.
barring
I mean-
that.
I mean,
like,
to be fair, we all play Super Smash Brothers that has like 3 different versions of Link. So like,
I've never.
I would play a
supported that.
game with like 3 or 4 different spawns.
I'm not even kidding. From Melee on, truly, I never supported the characters that so greatly resemble the other characters. Like when I unlocked Ganondorf after having played as Captain Falcon, I'm like, wait a minute, what? Like that's whack. Like Ganondorf and Captain Falcon shouldn't have the same fucking moves. Essentially, that's no thanks. Link and Young Link, eat my ass. But they've only doubled down on that since. They really either everybody gets an Echo Fighter or no one does. Like that's how it should be. There should be 150 characters in Super Smash Brothers, or they should fucking trim the fat already. Like,
All right, Syndrome.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Put him in the game. He was in Disney Infinity, one of the best games on the Wii U.
You know what? I'll drink to that.
I know how to play to you, David. So anyway, Spawn, cooler than Syndrome by a country mile.
Spawn, famously tied to Disney.
Yeah. Let's do a quick around the horn. Better comic book-ish movie, Spawn or The Incredibles? I'll go first. The Incredibles. And that eliminates that possibility. Now, Jesse, you have to pick.
The Incredibles.
No, you have to say
Incredibles 2.
Spawn. I think Spawn is better than Incredibles 2.
I liked Incredibles 2. It's all right.
It's fine.
I
David,
still haven't watched Incredibles 2.
It's way better
What?
than Spawn.
I know it's been on my watch list for ages.
I
but
signed
I
on.
think you should.
instead, I've just been rewatching the Spectacular Spider-Man.
I saw Incredibles 2 before I saw Incredibles 1, solely because of Bob Odenkirk.
Get the fuck out, Johnny.
That's such a Johnny thing to say. God.
I love how you can
Heard there was a
hear
new
the-
Bob Odenkirk animated movie in town. Oh, it's Incredibles 2.
I love how you can hear like the cadence and inflection in his voice to say like, "Oh, I can reference Bob Odenkirk. I'm happy about this."
I mean, anytime you can reference Bob Odenkirk, you should, because he's a genius.
I mean, yeah, but he's no Dick Miller.
Who the fuck is Dick Miller?
Wait, what?
Is he like David
fuck are you
Cross,
talking about?
or
Is that Dennis Miller's brother Richard? Who's Dick Miller?
No, Dick Miller is a character actor who has appeared in like 200 movies. Like he's just been in a lot of shit.
Well, anyways, I'll say it. Spawn is better than The Incredibles.
Yeah.
Cool. Moving on.
Man. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Something better than Spawn. Rory
things.
Calhoun. As long as
The
we're just
man
fucking,
who's always standing and walking.
yeah, as long as we're just naming fucking actors that. What was the challenge there, David? Fucking just be as esoteric as possible. Good God, talking about Spawn here. Talking about guns and chains and black and
Clowns.
capes and clowns.
John Leguizamo?
Well, he's not specifically in this, even though the renders in this game. This is a Dreamcast game. I'll give it up. The best thing about this game, some of the the CG and stuff, actually nearly as good as the Spawn movie. Like it's
Ooh.
the render of like the Violator looks pretty good. It obviously doesn't look that good in motion, but like in the little cutscenes you get, it's like, oh man, they did a nice job. It's compared to how the special effects looked in that 1997 ass movie, this game looks pretty good. But anyway, I think Jesse's right. There's been enough Spawn talk. Unless, Jesse, did you happen to pick the Spawn request and a Spawn game for your own game?
God, that would be just horrible.
What a fucking twist that would be, man. Can you imagine?
I would quit the show.
After 2 consecutive Spawn games, Jesse revealed, actually, I love Spawn. And he just like
I
takes off
am
his shirt.
Spawn.
Yeah, he's just covered in chains. Oh, man. Anyway, Spawn is great, greater than all. And we should move on before anybody has a chance to rebuke me.
Game 4.
Yeah. Well, that's Spawn music.
All right. This is our fan request. All right. This game features 52 characters from 32 different comic series. All right. Let's see what kind of conclusions you guys jumped to.
Wait, let me hit my light.
Is that an Office Space reference?
No. Oh man, Ack. Johnny said Kathy the game. That's incorrect. And David and John have the correct answer with J-Star's Victory Versus. This was our fan request from Muddle Madness in the Discord. This is a fighting game where you play as various characters from different Japanese comics. And there's a whole bunch of them. Like you got Dragon Ball characters in there, Fist of the North Star characters, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, One Piece, Yu Yu Hakusho, all like the good ones.
Oh, is this the game where you can play as... I can't remember the manga or the anime, but it's basically you have a car.
Initial D?
Yes, thank you, John.
Let me see. I have the list. Oh, Naruto's in here.
Because I know there's definitely like an anime fighting game where you can play as Initial D,
No.
and like your super move basically involves running them over with a car. I'm just not sure if it's this particular game.
It's not in this one. No, it looks like.
Okay.
Sorry. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, I like a good crossover. And this definitely crosses over a lot of stuff.
No shit.
I
Look at the
mean,
list
I'm
now.
a fan
I don't
of
know.
all crossovers.
Crossovers are cool, man. Like, you know, I feel like if there was any reason for this to have ever come out in America, somebody could have talked me into this for like fucking, you know, like I did Tatsunoko versus Capcom. I knew like half those characters, the Capcom ones. So, you know, like I could play, you know, some of this. Like I know some of Bleach and Dragon Ball and Fist of the North Star. And,
Yeah, there's
you know, like
there's
there's
enough
ways
people.
to get a casual guy like me into this, and then I discover all these other fucking characters. Like, man, I don't know who any of these people are.
See, that's what I love about crossover games is it expands the mind and it introduces you to like different characters you would not have expected, because I remember the first time I played Smash Brothers Melee, I was like, who the fuck is Marth? And that introduced me to Fire Emblem.
Well, yeah, but you couldn't play it for several more years after that.
Look, the point that I'm getting at is crossovers are good because they appeal to people and expand horizons.
Yes, that's true. You know, I don't even know what Bo is, but
that
I'm
one
looking at
is
it now.
very weird.
I'm into it, whatever it is, baby.
Yeah, like a big yellow afro and stuff.
I was gonna say, as I recall, it's an anime about a guy with a yellow afro and a magic mustache
Yeah.
that like fights for him.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Dope.
So
Um,
it's cool. Like when the DS was out, and like everyone was, you know, the cool thing about the DS was it was region free, and so like that's when I started importing DS games, and I imported the first of this series. It was just Jump Superstars, and like it was like a whole bunch of different, and it was all in Japanese, but it was a fighting game. And that version was more like Smash Bros. You could have like, you know, 4 these anime characters fighting on the screens to get. God damn it, Johnny!
Guys,
Sorry,
pay attention.
just got derailed by Gabagool, but yeah. So I've been a fan of this kind of game. I haven't played this one particularly, but it is cool, like having Goku fight Naruto and stuff. And
It doesn't seem fair because it seems like Goku
Well,
would
no.
just win.
well,
Like,
yeah, of
yeah.
course, but
I don't know the power scaling between all these different, you know, mangas and things, but
But-
I gotta imagine that nobody fucks with Goku.
But they have, you know, also it was cool, like having like assist trophy type deals where like certain anime characters you could only use as like assists, and they would just like pop up and do something or
Oh, cool.
attack the other characters and stuff. And that was always fun. They always had weird animations for those. It's a pretty cool series. I feel like the last one that had come out didn't do so hot though, so I'm not sure if they'll make any more. They might. We'll see.
Damn, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to say, oh, yeah, I'll give it a shot. But, like, no, I would have to get, like, it would have to be deeply discounted on the Switch shop. And I would have to be assured that the game's actually, like, fun and worth playing. Like, I don't want to play some jank fighting game with a bunch of fucking obscure characters that I don't know. But, yeah, I do like the idea of this many characters crossing over. Jesse, are there any deep cuts in here that you're aware of that you want to highlight? You know, I already shouted out Bo, just because that drew my eye. But I
I
don't know
believe
what that
it's
is.
pronounced Bobobo. Bobobo.
I think you're wrong, David. I think I said it exactly right.
I believe it's pronounced "eat my bubble butt." I'm Bubble Man.
Johnny, how dare you?
I've recently gotten to Hunter x Hunter, and Gon and Killua are in that from that show,
Word.
as well as Hisoka. So that's fun.
Cool. Is Killua named, you know, like, is that like some kind of adaptation of the phrase, like, you know, kill you? Is it, kill Yua?
You know, considering what I've seen of him so far, I feel like that's a very apt assessment, because that dude can fuck people up.
Cool.
I don't know. I feel like it's based more on
The
like
drink.
a
Yeah, the-
coffee-based liqueur.
Right. Mudslide, he shits his pants all the time.
Oh my god.
You know,
Uh,
That's real
good
powerful.
my
good attack.
That's my favorite anime, the one about the kid who shits his pants all the time.
Yeah, kid who drinks too much Kahlua and shits his
Isn't that,
pants.
isn't that Shin-chan or
Yeah, I was
whatever?
gonna say
I was gonna
shit.
say, like, I'm pretty sure that exists.
Yeah.
There's probably way more than that. Just
Yeah, let's not pretend like that doesn't exist, guys. I'm
pants
sure there's a
shitting
fighting game
anime.
out there. Yeah, isn't there an anime like? Isn't there a fighting game out there where you just play as like
Yeah.
characters' panties?
yeah,
So like,
with
Yeah.
guns, panties
Probably.
with guns.
yeah, so like a game where like the attacks are all pants shitting wouldn't surprise me.
No.
I
David,
mean,
the fact that
there's
you're
the-
into it is what surprises me.
There's a fighting game where you play as not My Little Pony characters, so I'm sure there is a panty-based fighting game.
But not My Little Pony characters are like animals. It makes sense for them to, I don't know, be able to fight each other. Panties don't really make any sense. Yeah, do the My Little Pony characters shit?
You know, it doesn't come up in
Their
the
lives
show, but I feel
Asking the
like
tough
it-
questions tonight.
Also, there was a horror movie about pants, so like, I'm sure there's a fighting game about panties.
Oh, that's on the list.
The Wallace and Gromit thing?
No, it's a movie called Slacks. It's about killer pants. It's
John-
actually pretty good.
John, you're thinking of The Wrong Trousers, okay? And that's a delightful film.
I always took it as a horror film. Man was possessed by those pants.
Is the wrong trousers the one with the penguin?
Yes.
One with the pants.
Okay, cool.
And the pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, trousers means pants.
Pants.
The Wrong Trousers is the only one anyone's seen because the other two
Yes.
kind of suck. The Wrong Trousers is hands down the best one.
That's right.
I don't know. Curse of the Were-Rabbit's pretty good.
Oh, I'm talking about the original 3-part series.
I
No
like how
idea.
you're talking about, like, I have definitive opinions about the Wallace and Gromit movies, even though I've only seen one of them.
Yeah.
And the one that I've seen is the best one.
I've seen 3, the first 3, and I'm saying of the
You're
first
questioning
3.
whether or not Johnny actually
Hey,
saw all three of
just-
them? Come on.
Yeah.
Just wait to talk about this on our new Patreon show. Wallace and Gromit, that tune.
Mhm. Jesus.
But for real, Slacks is a horror movie about possessed pants, and it's actually pretty good.
Okay. So
Sounds
anyway,
fun.
going back to the My Little Pony, not My Little Pony fighting
Yeah.
game.
Are they
David?
shitting?
Can you give me a tier list of the
Smelly as shits.
characters turd cutters?
You know, okay. I feel like
Johnny,
if
that's
we
when you
are,
say game 5.
Yeah, don't let them
Game
start.
5.
Okay.
All right. So at the time of global release this year, this game featured over 170 characters, and that number keeps increasing rather frequently. All right. Let's see what you guys picked. Oh God. So Johnny says multiverses. That's incorrect. John says Pooters. That's incorrect. And David with the correct answer, Marvel Snap. Snap. This game is so fucking good. Have any of you guys played this yet?
I haven't heard of it.
Well, I've heard of it. I haven't played it.
It is so it's made by the people who created Hearthstone, and so they already know what they're doing when it comes to card games. And this card game, I'm gonna say, is probably the best card game I have ever played. And that means it's better than Magic, better than Pokemon, better than Hearthstone. It's so like it's very easy to learn. And the games, they take like 3 to 5 minutes. And all the cards are so cool, like the detail and all the characters, like and God, it's I just want to just gush all over this game.
Go for it.
It's just like and the way they've designed it, you have a deck of 12 cards. So like right there, you don't have to worry about a whole ton of deck building or anything. The combos and stuff can be pretty easy. You just have like 2 cards, and then that's your combo that wins the game. Like an easy one is like Moon Girl. When you play her, she doubles your hand size, and then you play Devil Dinosaur, and he gets more power depending on how many cards are in your hand. And so like there's your combo. So like how a game works is there's 3 locations, and the locations do different things, and you got to capture the location by putting your cards down. And the higher number, all the cards have numbers on them, and the higher numbers win. So it's pretty easy. And some cards interact with each other or do things whenever you play them and whatnot. So as you're playing, you see what goes together pretty good, and it's real easy to like fiddle with cards and put them together. You could just make a group of people you like, and it might work out for you. I made this one stupid deck right now, and it's got some silly people in it. Let me read it for you real quick. And these guys are silly. No, what's it doing? I don't want to play. All right, this is bad. Okay. I'm trying to think. It's on Steam. It's on phones. I have not put it on Steam because I feel like if I put it on Steam, it's all I'll do.
Word.
Because it is very, very much addicting. But it's a great fucking game.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people sharing the results and things from it, and I don't understand what any of it means. So I've not really engaged with it yet.
Like when you play it, it's so easy to learn. It's like stupid easy to learn. It's very
I'm pretty stupid, so I challenge that. But
It seems like it's a basic collectible card game, but
yeah,
rather than with physical cards, it's all digital.
pretty much. And like as far as like paying to win or anything, there isn't.
please
really,
tell me you can pay to win. Otherwise, I really don't want to play.
I don't know if you can really.
I absolutely intend to pay to win. I'm changing my stance on pay to win as long as it's beneficial to me.
Let me just throw money at it and be successful.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I can do.
Right.
I get it.
I'm old now. I gotta fucking win. Not through skill. Gee.
No, fuck all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got some really cool art. It really got me into like wanting to read comics again, and I have yet to do that. But I've been watching the X-Men cartoon and stuff, and
That counts.
yeah, it's just the way the matches are, and like the locations are weird. Like there's a real annoying one that's been going around where it just destroys your deck. You like draw 3 cards and then it just destroys your deck for both players, and it's like, okay, good luck playing with just those cards now. And there's like some areas where it's like all your cards get +5, and it's like, oh, that's fun. You know, so like the games every time are different, and your deck might not be prepared to face what locations you're going to be at. So there's always some randomness to it, and the element that's really cool is above you, like where you're playing, there's like a little cube, and so like as you're playing, if you think you're gonna win, you can hit the little cube, and then you'll hear like a voice on the game go snap, and like it's real funny how it does it, and that doubles the cubes, and so you're kind of doing like a double or nothing, or double your cube situation, and you could so there's some light gambling, I guess. Yeah, and it's so cool. And when you level up your cards, you just level up like like how they look, as far as like the first one you get, I think, is Frame Break, and it makes like the card, like the character, like break out of the side of the cards and stuff. And then you get like Animated, and then like the backgrounds like are animated and stuff, or Shiny Logo, and it's like it's really cool. Like they've done a lot of cool things with the game. And last month there was a Black Panther event going on, and so there was a lot of cool like Wakanda characters and stuff. But it's got like people.
How many characters did you say you can actually use? I mean, it's a collectible card game, so like just everybody from Marvel's here.
Yeah, like right now over 170, and there's like people I've never heard of, like Kazar. I don't know who that guy is, but he's like basically like Marvel's Tarzan.
I was gonna say, seriously, he lives in like the Savage Land and has like a saber-toothed tiger pet.
Yeah, I never heard of him until I played this game.
I thought he was the old quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, but okay.
No. No.
It's okay. Nobody should understand that reference.
Bernie Kosar?
No. Okay, Jesse. You're good.
Yeah, I know what's going on.
Yeah, my man.
I was gonna say, you talk about like obscure Marvel Comics characters,
but I know
I'm there. You mentioned football, I'm totally lost.
You want to do obscure sports references? David's out.
I mean, like,
somewhere in the middle.
You could mention like obvious sports references, and I still don't know who you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Bill Spaceman Hicks, who?
God damn it, David. Are you just trying to do as like unknowable of a reference as possible? Who is Bill Spaceman Hicks?
Oh, it's Bill Hicks, right? The stand-up comic, who had a lot of material stolen from him, by Dennis Leary.
Who?
No. There was
Hickory
like
Dickory Dock. Oh wait, no, that's something else.
there was a. I probably fucked that up. Let's move on very quickly.
Good idea.
Wait,
what are we moving on to? Why
yeah,
is there a
what
pause?
happened, David?
Yeah.
King of the show. Next game.
David, this is our fifth game.
Yeah, so.
Do we
I'll
have a
just-
lightning
I'll
round?
just move on to the lightning round then.
Oh,
Lightning round.
Lightning round.
David, you got lucky.
So when I was thinking about the different locations in the game, I was thinking about different locations in comic books and like hideouts and headquarters and stuff. So what I've done is I've selected a bunch of headquarters, and then I'm going to say that, and then you will tell me who like predominantly hangs out there. And I feel like I've kind of made them as challenging as I perceived your comic aptitude is.
Wow.
However, I may have misjudged John. So we'll see. Let's start with David. Department H.
I'm sorry, we're guessing the character?
Character or characters if it's like a group. Department H.
I'm not gonna take a lot of time because I don't want to draw this segment out
Yes.
further, but I'm gonna say the Justice Society.
No, it's Alpha Flight. Sorry.
Give me a hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm sorry. That's way too long. I can't do that.
Yeah. And he got it
Also,
wrong.
that's
And
like
it's
a
wrong.
congratulatory sound.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck you.
Okay.
There,
All right.
always a winner.
Oh,
All right.
you got that wrong. Give me a hell yeah.
All right, John.
Yeah.
Wonder Dome.
Wonder Dome. I'm only really familiar with what's beyond Wonder Dome. So, I'm gonna say that's the lair of Wonder Man.
No, it's Wonder Woman.
Hey, fuck you.
All right, Johnny.
Who?
Oh man. Okay, the Batcave.
Batman.
All right, that's one.
God damn it.
You got
David?
lucky.
David. Star Labs.
Oh, that's the Flash.
Yes, I also would have accepted Cyborg because he does a lot of stuff there.
My man.
John.
Yes.
Titans Tower.
Titan's Tower. Is there a specific Titan that hangs out there, or is the group name just the Titans good enough?
Yeah, you can say the group name. if
Cool.
that's the-
The Titans?
Yes.
All right, good.
My man.
Thanks.
I
Mike.
mean, I don't know. It's not the Titans. It's,
Sometimes they're the Titans.
Teen Titans?
Yes, that's the more
Okay,
accurate.
he's on the right track.
I feel like I saw a series called like DC's Titans. I was just
Yeah, they've been called the Titans.
just
before.
splitting the difference.
Johnny, Stark Tower.
The Avengers / Tony Stark, specifically. But no, that's where the Avengers hang out, right? Or did they?
No.
No, they renamed it, didn't they? Stark Tower. So that must be just Tony Stark, Iron Man.
Yeah, just Iron Man.
Okay.
My man.
This shit is rigged.
All right, David.
Way to almost get there, Johnny.
Wait, let's see. The Sanctum Sanctorium.
Oh, Doctor Strange.
Yes.
My man.
Oh, it's not who I thought it was.
All right, John.
Yes.
The Fortress of Solitude.
Now that one, pretty sure it's old Soups.
Yep.
Man.
My man.
I'm sorry.
Alright,
I
The
knew it. I'm
answer we
smart.
were looking for is Doc Savage.
Okay. All right, Johnny. Now this one might be tricky. The X Mansion.
The X-Men.
That's correct.
My
It's
man.
all fucked up, man.
Okay,
I think he has his
David?
headphones. Yeah.
David, you ready? The Baxter Building.
The Fantastic Four.
That's correct.
My man.
And the last one, John. The Hall of Justice.
So it's not good enough to just say Superman because the whole Justice League hangs out there, right?
Yeah, you're correct. It's Justice League.
Yeah, cool.
My man.
All right, so everyone got 3 points.
All right, good round.
It was super.
I like
Calculating computer activated. Computers. Beeps.
Space.
Boops. Scoring complete. This game's winner is... David Fleming.
Yeah, it sure is. And it just makes perfect sense. David, the biggest Spawn fan of any of us, just came with that Todd McFarlane knowledge. You know, whatever weird sexual tension exists between those two men. David was able to move past it and just handle his business on tonight's episode.
Honestly,
David, we're
I
not
feel like
really
I feel
not
like
really
I've-
interested in the sordid details of your personal life with Todd McFarlane, but we're happy for you that you were able to win this episode of Game That Tune. Great job, fella.
I feel like I've probably read more Spawn comics than anyone else on this episode.
Yes. Did I sound like I was being sarcastic?
Well,
I'm sorry.
okay, well,
you know.
hold on, David.
I mean,
hold
you
on,
were
hold on.
bringing up like weird sexual tension, so
Well, I'm just saying you have a clear conflict going on. Like you love Spawn but hate Todd McFarlane. So
David, can we?
I would not say that I love Spawn.
I have heard you literally just say it.
I'll put this to a test. All right, so
When did I say I loved Spawn?
David,
That's twice now.
have you read more Spawn comics than me? I've read 0.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've read more Spawn comics than you
All right.
It's good. Yeah.
because any number is greater than 0.
Hold on. Johnny, can we check that?
Redo the calculating computer.
He's right.
Well, no, he said any number is greater than 0, but like -1 is a number, and that's not greater than 0.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
get the fuck out.
I mean, he's right. He didn't say any positive integer. He just said any number is greater than 0. One of the most provably false statements ever.
I would have accepted
The
any
point-
positive real number as well.
Yeah.
The point is, I've won.
Yes. And now, David, it's time. Pull off your giant living cape, unfurl your chain-like penis, and tell us what the theme is for next week's episode, the final episode of 2022, man, end of year finale.
Well, I was thinking because due to holidays and whatnot, it's only December 14th, but this is going to be our last episode for 2022. And, thinking of like New Year's and whatnot, like I want to go out with a bang. So I'm thinking the theme for next episode is party.
Hey.
Let's close out with a celebration.
Man, for a second there, I was worried you were going to say free play, and I have not prepared a new jingle in quite some time, so I am
Oh.
glad that you said a real theme.
You mean the next episode we record is last episode? I thought you meant like tonight was the last episode. I was like, wait a minute, no, that's not right. Like,
Yeah, no, he used today's date in making that reference, but no, next week's recording will be our last episode of the
okay,
year.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, next episode is our final episode, but like it's December 14th. We're looking towards the final episode of
I
Game
see.
That Tune
Yes.
for 2022, not
Mhm.
the final episode, period. We're
Hey,
gonna
I
keep
mean, could be
going as
both.
long as we can milk this cow.
Who knows? Could be both. But it will definitely be the last episode of 2022 next week. And David, I love the theme party. We're having a party on next week's episode of Game That Tune. A fantastic end of year party. A fantastic episode of Game That Tune awaits us. Great job, man. Great pick and great game. And guys, great game to all of you. And everybody listening, thank you all so much. Everybody, thank you for watching live with us. We are live every Wednesday. We are on Twitch. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. Search for Game That Tune. We love you guys being here with us, chatting along, offering us your Todd McFarlane takes to bail us out on these segments. Join us anywhere that you want to watch. We love you guys being here. Thank you to everybody listening in podcast form. Our podcasts come out Tuesday mornings. They're in iTunes or anywhere you get your podcasts. GameThatTune.com is what I've been quoting more often than iTunes. I don't know why I fell back on that. But yeah, we appreciate you guys listening, subscribing, leaving reviews and whatnot, contributing to our podcast popularity. We love you listening. Thank you to everybody checking out patreon.com/GameThatTune, guys. What a bunch of fun things we've done with that. We've got Game That Tune gems. We've got mixtapes galore. We do movie commentaries. We got all kinds of fun stuff that you guys support by going to patreon.com/GameThatTune, including our 24/7 video game music live stream at radio.gamethattune.com, gtt.rocks, the home for video game music on the internet. We love you guys supporting that via our Patreon, and we appreciate you guys continuing to support us. We, of course, want to give a special thank you to our Patreon Absurd fans. You know that we're talking about Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens, Daniel Perky, Taylor Y, Sam L, Grimmery, Phoenix Tier 2121, and Unsaddled Zebra, a fantastic group of people. Some of my favorite people, quite frankly. We want to thank our requester tonight. Jesse took the request. Who made that request?
Muddle Madness in the Discord.
Oh, Patreon Absurd fan, Muddle Madness. What a great guy, and what a great request. And Discord is a great place to make your requests. Look for that invite link on the website, or you can hit us up, GameThatTune.club. That's our secret social media server. Trying to make it a little bit less of a secret. We're trying to penetrate that Fediverse, baby. We're going to spread that Fed and just insert Game That Tune into it. And what, Johnny? That's the mission, man.
No. That was like an excited groan.
Okay, good.
That was an excited, disgusted groan.
It's just the sound of someone having Game That Tune inserted into their Fed hole. It's just how it feels. It can't be helped. But yeah, so check us out, GameThatTune.club. I never plug our merchandise store, but shop.gtt.rocks. We just put up a huge new line of insanely silly shirts. The Game That Tune Radio Greatest Hits Collection. Go to shop.gtt.rocks or merch.gamethattune.com to see a lot of fun things, and maybe buy some and show your pride for not only Game That Tune but video game music in general in very bizarre ways. And that is just about going to do it tonight. So David's taking us home with bonus tunes, and I want to know what they are.
Well, I thought about the theme of parties, and I thought to myself, what is the greatest party in video game history? And there was only one correct answer. We are closing out with a hootenanny with Western Land from Mario Party 2.
But of course, we are nothing if not fans of Mario Party 2 and throwing a hootenanny. So hell yeah, guys. Everybody move to the same space no matter where you were on the board. And we'll see you next week. Peace out, everybody. Oh, I missed.
That will be Yoshi.
Okay, let's see. I didn't fucking type out the copyright, so let's see if I got everything. Blade Kitten is copyright 2010 Chrome Studios. Spawn is copyright 1999 Konami. Spawn in the Demon's Hand is copyright 2000 Capcom Company Limited. J-Star's Victory Versus is copyright 2015 Spike Chunsoft and Bandai Namco Entertainment. Marvel Snap is copyright 2022 Second Dinner and Newverse.